Hello everybody and welcome to the SmackDown review after a pretty controversial SmackDown, and I think this is definitely going to shake up the world before BackLash. Before we get started with this review, I do want to say make sure to like, subscribe to the Instagram and also to the YouTube channel where you're watching this today. This is going to be a great video. We're just going to break down everything that happened on SmackDown, so make sure to like, subscribe because we always post daily wrestling content. We kicked off the show with LA Knight and Damian Priest taking on Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. Already, this was on the card by the way. Going into this match, I was already pretty mad because why are we having the United States Champion, the guy who is defending his championship tomorrow, in a fatal 4-way match and a tag match tonight? But after the match happened, after LA Knight and Damian Priest ended up picking up the win against them, we did end up seeing a backstage segment where Jacob kind of still hinting at the fact that they might break up. He keeps telling Solo to get in where he fits in and that he's going to beat LA Knight, Damian, and Drew. And then it cut to Solo and he was like, alright. So Solo might cost Jacob tomorrow and that might switch up my prediction, but I already have my predictions on the channel. I posted it today, so I can't switch up. I'm still just going to go with Jacob Fatu, but in the end, I just think this match was stupid overall. I'm really excited for SmackDown to go back to 2 hours because, in my opinion, we're getting matches like this that aren't implying nothing to the storylines, and it's just a match to fill the time. Same with multiple matches on this card, and there's just no reason for it. In the end, LA Knight and Damian picked up the win. Obviously not making Jacob look too strong coming into this BackLash match to where we think he is going to demolish them, because I guess they're setting us up for either a Drew McIntyre win or a Jacob Fatu win. So either way, we made Jacob not look too strong and not look too soft to where he's just going in equal, same way he would have went into BackLash if he wouldn't have had this match. Next up, we saw Piper Niven and Chelsea Green versus Zelina Vega and a mystery opponent, which we turned out to be Alexa Bliss, a returning Alexa Bliss. We know earlier in the day, PW Insider reportedly said that Alexa Bliss was scheduled to be on the card, but nobody really had any idea on what she was going to be doing. I really thought about the Wyatt Six, but really we hadn't seen her full persona be unlocked with the Wyatt Six yet, so that really lost my mind pretty fast. So to see her join up with Zelina Vega tonight was really cool to see her back. But it really just got you thinking, what's next? After Zelina and Alexa won, Alexa looked a bit weird at Zelina after she put the title around her waist, and that ultimately hints to me we're going to see that match at Saturday Night's Main Event, but that's just something that I'm fully storytelling. Don't get me wrong, I would love to see it, but I just don't think it's in Alexa Bliss's future right now, as I think she has a lot more to do before she gets into a title picture. We see Charlotte Flair come out to give a promo, but then she instantly just gets booed out the building where she storms off, throws the mic, storms off, and eventually Nick Aldis told her what everybody else was thinking, and that whenever you come out there, even if you get booed, you can't just throw a temper tantrum and run out the building. So that really wasn't even the part that I was looking forward to telling y'all. But we eventually got on to Jade Cargill and Charlotte staring down again, which I thought was pretty cool to see because we know that is many people's dream match is Jade Cargill versus Charlotte Flair. So to see that was really cool. But in the end, we saw Nia Jax versus Jade Cargill, and I think the pretty obvious happened with Nia Jax defeating Jade Cargill after Naomi attacked Tiffany Stratton while she was at ringside, and then we saw Jade get distracted with Naomi. Nia ended up hitting the Annihilator and winning the match. I just think that this went picture perfect. We continued the Jade and Naomi story, and we also had Nia pick up the victory, which leads her to face Tiffany Stratton at, I'm guessing, next week's Friday Night SmackDown. Overall, great match, great feud, and continues a lot of storylines. We continue to see the Street Profits this week. Last week we saw a video package after their match in a TLC match that, in my opinion, was TLC match of the century or the decade. But the Street Profits came out, kind of kept saying how they wanted the smoke, but then Fraxium came out, which was a huge surprise. We know last week they faced Pretty Deadly, which they did end up picking up the win, but with a couple of injuries. Fraxium and Street Profits was announced after Nick Aldis came out and announced it, but man, this was awesome. I love seeing Fraxium come out and face the Street Profits and actually win. Even though this was a non-title match, it was still pretty clear to me that them winning this is a huge sign and maybe signals to us wrestling fans that we might be seeing Fraxium be up and coming and be the next tag team to dethrone the Street Profits on SmackDown. We know they're officially signed to SmackDown, so now that's the only thing for them is SmackDown. No more NXT, no more Raw, and just SmackDown. Their full focus is on SmackDown, and seeing them defeat the tag champs tonight, especially not at 100%, is pretty impressive, and that is obviously a role that they will play into later in this storyline, as the Street Profits will come back to say, y'all didn't beat us fair and square, we were injured, and we saw Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford play those injuries off very well tonight, as every time they would land, they would hold on to their knee. It just looked so picture perfect, and I love this match. This next match is Carmelo Hayes versus Aleister Black, and I was on live stream with Wild Wrestling doing a watch party for SmackDown, and as soon as I heard this was announced in the middle of the show, I was super excited because not only do I have my Melo Don't Miss shirt on, I predicted this after last week's SmackDown whenever they stared off. I knew that it was going to either be on the BackLash card or we were going to see it tonight, and it was an awesome match, but I will say I think it went on a bit too long. It was to the point where I was at the edge of my seat in the start of the match, and then progressively I sat back, and in the end I ended up looking at my phone to end off this match. But in the end, Carmelo Hayes accidentally hit The Miz, and I hate how they're teasing that breakup because we just started with it, and The Miz can reach Carmelo Hayes to new heights. So to see them have Carmelo hit The Miz is just something that I don't want to see. But Aleister Black ended up rolling up Carmelo Hayes, and after the match, The Miz ended up eating a absolutely devastating Black Mass. We see Los Garzas take on Andrade and Rey Fenix in a match that was really good. We saw Fenix get a lot of new moves in that I haven't saw before, actually. But I feel like the main topic after this match, obviously Andrade and Rey Fenix ended up winning this match, but after the match, Santos Escobar was ringside during the match, and after, Santos looked at Berto and told him to get up, and then he started getting mad at Angel and Berto until he finally put his hand in Berto's face. Berto smacked his hand and walked out on him. This is obviously teasing a huge turn and something that the fans are actually really engaged in, and this is one of the moments that we've actually seen the WWE turn somebody heel at the right time. We know Austin Theory may be turning heel on Grayson Waller any day now, and it's just not the right decision because we've been wanting this for months, and to do it really late is just not something that people wanted to see anymore. And yes, people do want to see him in the Seth Rollins faction, but at the same time, we've been waiting for him to turn heel for so long that really nobody wants it anymore. So to see tonight Berto give little teasers that he will be turning heel on Santos and going to the side of Andrade was really good, and is a tag match that I'm really looking forward to. We saw a really good promo from John Cena. He came out and he told Mark Nash to come and announce his name, but that is whenever he got hit with a beer bottle in the middle of the ring. Now, I don't know if this was planted, if there was somebody planted to throw that at him. I will see if there is a video on social media to see if that was planted or not, but I don't think it was, because instantly it caught John's attention and he tried to throw it out as soon as he can, but he did bring a lot of attention to it. That's what gets me thinking that it was planted, but obviously I don't think it is. It's just the people in the crowd thinking that they can throw stuff at the wrestlers, and in reality that's just not how it works. But eventually Mark Nash gets done announcing John Cena, and John just goes off on Randy. After last week, Randy exposing John Cena for selling merchandise to the kids to try to get them to like him, John goes off on Randy saying how Randy Orton is the GOAT at being irrelevant and at being just horrible. And I mean, he was just doing that the whole time, and also saying how Randy Orton wants to do all these things to John, but in the end he's just going to end up destroying him, and how John Cena is the epitome of hustle, loyalty, and respect, and how he's run the company for so long until eventually we see what looked like Randy Orton at the start, but not so much in the end, as what it looked like Miles Bourne ended up trying to RKO John Cena whenever he got absolutely laid out. And John goes to raise the title, and the real Randy Orton pops up behind him and hits him with the 3 most dangerous letters in all of sports entertainment, RKO. I loved this. Seeing them get NXT talent involved. Now, obviously, we never got a face reveal on that guy that tried to pop up on John Cena. It could just be a random janitor, but the little tattoos on his arm made it look real like Miles Bourne. We know he won that 25-man battle royal, and He is going to face Obafemi at Battleground, so to see them finally get him in there and get him involved in the main roster, it's obviously not announced, but I'm sure a video on social media will go out of him walking back to the stage. But man, that was really good and something that I'm really looking forward to. But it really got me thinking. This SmackDown ended with Randy Orton holding the title on the second rope. Will we see this recreated tomorrow at Backlash with John Cena being in the position that Randy Orton was in tonight? Will we see John Cena standing over Randy Orton, or will John Cena slap the ref and leave and go home? We saw before this, or earlier in the night, we saw 2014 clips of the Hell in a Cell match between Randy Orton and John Cena. So to see that be showed on TV was really cool. And by the way, let's not take away how big of a banger that match was. But this segment was so good. I loved everything about it. I loved the John calling out Randy Orton, and I loved 10 times more Miles Bourne coming out and distracting John Cena until Randy Orton could come out and RKO him. And it makes a lot of sense. Everybody's been calling Miles Bourne the young Randy Orton, and it just made perfect sense. So, loved this, and I loved this whole SmackDown in general. But that was it for the SmackDown review. This was a awesome SmackDown and something that I'm really looking forward to. Coming into this new, I guess you could say, era of professional wrestling, as John Cena is taking us into the dark side pretty much and trying to ruin wrestling. And now I think I'm down for it. This is awesome. And, well, now the only thing we got to worry about is Velveteen Dream ruining wrestling for us. But in the end, this SmackDown was awesome. I love seeing Randy and John and Miles Bourne, and I also love seeing Alexa Bliss return. So I thought that was awesome. But with that being said, I will see y'all boys in the next one. Deuces, deuces.